Hola tribe. Welcome to the House of Kai. Today we're going to do a medicine oracle read. And I am Earth Warriors. We're going to start with Earth Warriors. And so today's read is going to be dated for the 7th of December, Monday. So, but again, doesn't matter time frame. When you watch the video, you watch the video, and it's, if it resonates, it resonates. Yeah, so if you're not already part of the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And there'll be a lot of various offerings moving forward as I get my my little video making area more situated, so I can offer readings and medicine, energy healing, and corrective therapy, breath work, lots of good stuff. So, as far as today's medicine read, let's see. As always, my intention is, what is it that the tribe requires? What information best serves the tribe as we are moving forward? So good. It feels so good. I hope you all are doing so well. I know for myself, I've been just doing more self-care, more downtime, allowing and giving myself permission to do that. Be present with the rearrangement of like moving pegs within the world. It can be tiresome, yet present with what is unfolding in front of us. Super exciting. Like super exciting. I can't even explain. Maybe this explains it. I love it. Pono Pono, number 27, Immeasurable Power of the Heart Way. So let's see. Can you see her? She's so beautiful. Look at the powerful colors coming from behind, throughout her, living from her heart, being guided by her emotions. I know there's a way of saying it. Hopefully I find the right phrasing, yet sorting through and guiding through our emotions. Your emotions are your, like how we steer. We get to choose how we wish to feel, and we can continue to create suffering and pain for ourselves, or we can steer the boat in a direction that nourishes our soul, our freedom, our passion, our creativity. We have the opportunity to direct and steer the boat. And I know as well as so many others that sometimes you have to make difficult choices. However, what brings you into a further union with your soul? What is it that gives you power, feeds your essence? And it's not always an easy decision. It really isn't. We believe there are things on our journey that are feeding our power and our essence, and then sometimes we realize that those things aren't necessarily feeding our power and essence. And then other times, we are just, completely on track and on fire and just keep moving forward and plugging away. Personally, I love that time of momentum, right? When you're in alignment and you just flow. You just flow, 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 flow. And things that come your way, it's just so easy to be like, good, good, I'm good. Or yes, that is it. That's it. I want more of that. Yes, I want more of that. And so as we move forward, allowing your heart, the freedom within your heart, the passion within your heart, the inspiration in your heart to move you forward on this path. Because it is that energy that is going to bring you the most fulfillment, beyond all the other illusions of, this crazy paradigm that we're living in, right? Like, oh, that which is bought and sold, right? That which is bought and sold. Allowing ourselves to shed, to give ourselves permission to experience that which we wish to experience versus invest in energies that make us feel like we're a possession, or as if somebody wants to own us, or treat us as a toy or something they can manipulate, right? So many people who work in this, 9-to-5 world, or just corporate big business. I know it's not necessarily a 9-to-5 world anymore. It is absolutely, the timing isn't the thing. It's what industry you're in. And you can feel like a puppet. You can feel expendable. And it's really unfair. So it doesn't matter what arena of life we're speaking of. What matters is how you feel about it. Is it your love relationships? Is it your business relationships? Is it your relationship to anything? What does it fuel you? Does it feed your heart? Does it expand you? Or is it something that is lackluster or draining you or manipulating you? Now is the time. Now is the time. Be very clear on what fuels you. Yeah. And so our second deck here, the Sacred Earth Oracle. Such a beautiful deck too. Yeah, such a beautiful deck. Any clarification of this immeasurable heart? Immeasurable heart. Oh, so beautiful. I got a little bunny ran right across the road today, little cute bunny with a little white poofy tail. It was awesome. And here we are with our bunny. Alliance. Right? The new birth. Look at this. We have we have the owl in the back. We have the butterfly, the bunny. Right? Look at all that beautiful growth in her hair, right? Like all this new energy and growth around us. So magnificent, so magnificent. So as we move forward, doing so that enriches us, and be unafraid, I as well, I definitely have my fears and my resistances and my silly little behaviors that limit my progressions at times, yet learning how to be unafraid and authentic within ourselves. Yeah, so powerful. I just personally, I'll share a story of I had a few situations come up recently that really, pushed my my boundaries. And one of the situations I found my voice within, and I was very pleased, and it was shortly after listening to a video, and it really just supported me. And basically it was give people permission to not like you. Giving people permission to not have to like you. It's a big deal. I personally wish for every human being to experience love, and when I engage with them, I wish to bring that to the table. I know that's not always, well, bringing love to the table is always possible in my opinion. However, it may not show up in a way that appears to be loving. It may be loving towards self and maybe, creating lines in the sand for others. So love can show up in many ways, yet I've often shown up in a place of love that means I'm giving more love than other people are willing to receive or even come close to reciprocating, let alone just simply receive it. And I've had a few instances, again, as of lately, where there was no amount of love that I could bring to the table that would be enough for them. So, because they themselves didn't love themselves. They could not receive love that they themselves didn't believe they were worthy of. And so having to make choices based off of that. And, some of it was, crisp and clean, and some of it was messy. It's just the way it is. Yet showing up for myself and realizing that I'm giving people permission to not like me. It's okay. It is okay if you don't like me. I mean, I've always known that. I've always known some people really like me and some people really don't, and I'm okay with that. I know I'm not for everybody. However, I still wanted people to walk away feeling loved, which drained me. And I really am working on giving myself permission to no longer having to let them have to experience love from, they don't need to feel that nurture and caring from me. They can feel my firm line in the sand love too, and I'm okay with that. And so I'm really working on being okay with that, knowing that I'm a loving being and I wish no harm of anyone. And I will do my best to speak true words. Don't get me wrong, I can be a bratty child like anybody else or have my stuff, yet I very much do my best to be accountable for behaviors or energy exchanges and for fairness, for equality. I do my best. And so, but that's not always received. And so I think that's going to be a tricky little something for all of us that are learning that new dance, right? So coming into this whole new life, right? Coming into alliance. And I find alliance with self. If we're this hard way, you're coming into an alliance with yourself first in order to come into alliance with others. And so check in with that, right? Not requiring another human being to like me means I'm coming into alliance with me. And then other tribal members are finding me, which is alliance with my tribe. So, you know what, I honestly, I don't know about you, but the amount of beings that have shed from my reality in the last year alone has been super profound. And the only beings that have shown up further down the journey have been more amazing and more within my tribe. So it's been such a gift to literally, people that I had felt were part of my tribe, shedding them off to discover that they were, tomfoolery or trickery or wanting to create an illusion of somebody they weren't, to only open doors for people that actually were in alignment, with mission. It's been so profound. So the more we follow our hearts, the more we listen to that voice inside of us, the more our tribe will find us, and we will be in alliance with ourselves simultaneously. Okay. All right. All right, hold on. I love it. That's the one. That's fantastic. Okay. I started to cut the deck and it didn't cut right. And so when I finally did cut it right, this is what came up. Drive. Right? Move forward. Boom. Cracking whips. I love it. allowing the heart to lead the way, right? You know, I love that with Ganusha's best friend is a rat, right? His best friend is a rat. And it's the cutest thing. And in this, like, look at this. He's got two little rats leading the way for him. He's the remover of obstacles. Ganusha is just, he's considered the original shaman, medicine man. He clears away obstacles. So things that are in the way. And then followed up, I just have to show you, was prosperity. Look at that. Allowing the heart to move us forward, being alliance with ourselves, being alliance with your own true nature, your own true spirit. I know that as I move through alliances, right, as I create lines of integrity within my love, right, I'm really working on no longer saying that love has boundaries. Love has integrity lines. Love has integrity lines. And those integrity lines are required to be met or honored, simply honored, even if another human being can't meet those integrity lines because they're on the journey too. They're doing their work, because we all have it. We all have lack somewhere, okay? No one is getting out of this journey unscathed. So realizing that everyone's going to do a dance however they need to, and that it's okay if you can't meet the integrity lines. However, acknowledging it, putting due diligence forward to improve upon oneself, and honoring all other human beings, and simply honoring all other human beings. You know, it's okay if you don't like me. It's okay if you don't like your neighbor. It's okay if you don't like whomever. Be kind, be respectful. Honor that that's another human being in your presence. That's simple. It's like kindergarten rules. And I'm just witnessing more and more people that really wanted to test the integrity lines of love. And in doing so, I personally have had to just communicate in a way that, yeah, it's okay if you don't like me. It's been empowering. And it's definitely forced me to check in afterwards to make sure that I was coming from integrity, and to see if there was like a mess, like an energetic mess afterwards from it. No. So giving myself permission to show up and live from my heart with integrity within myself, and move myself forward, right? Witnessing as different people have shown up to try and test me, right? Test my integrity lines, to test the test how much self-respect or self-love I have, and having to communicate in a way that may have seemed harsh, or out of character. Well, might not seem out of character to some, but being kind but standing my ground, right? Not allowing. And so we're going to have to do that as we move forward. We're going to have to truly be in our integrity lines, and with kindness, with love, with self-dignity. It really is what it comes down to. And I will be honest with you, on a little side note, what I'm noticing is how many people fear communication face-to-face. However, and I'm sure other people witness this, but they come off like they're very powerful via text messaging. right? And they try to like bombard you with a whole bunch of information to see if you bite the bait, you know what I mean? To see if you engage with the storyline that they're projecting on you. Don't do it. Over text messaging or coming off like they're very powerful, like all of a sudden they're now a badass on a text message, but 5 minutes before they couldn't communicate that to your face. It says a lot. It says a lot. And so don't be fooled by that. And demand a face-to-face communication, no matter how uncomfortable that is. Even, if you don't like that, it says a lot about you too. For you to be able to have a face-to-face communication with another human being versus via the text message game that people like to play, right, says a lot about your integrity as well. So do it, all right, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Moving forward on this journey, being in self-reliance, and again, we're moving forward fast. We're moving forward fast into a very abundant time, to a very, very abundant time. Flourishing, like flourishing. So cool, so cool. How does that look for each one of us is gonna be a little different, but very exciting. Very, very exciting. And so opening into my next deck here. All right. I just simply adore my cards. So if you are, if you have any questions about the decks that I use, I prefer to use the oracle cards for my reading. I do, of course, I do tarot. I do all sorts of cards and divination tools, as well as, really I don't require any of the tools to do the work. It's just more fun that way. It allows like pictures for story time. In my work, I do body reads, so I'm a medical intuitive, and I help people discover, sense, and feel what's actually happening in their bodies and get to the core issue so that we can do the work and heal them. And so the body itself is constantly communicating messages of what's going on too. So, all right. Interesting. I just have to say that the two cards that I keep cutting this deck and over again, I'm getting strength and love. Strength and love. Amazing. Just freaking amazing. So I I can't even get over it. And the gift, I keep seeing that too. So let's see what card gets picked. I have seen those same cards over and over again in this deck as I've been shuffling. So I am just so thrilled. So, wow, what a great read. What a great read. We are in just such a profound place. Okay. What is it? Last card of clarity here. Oh, forgiveness. Yeah. So, forgiveness. As I've been doing this work and, as I said, dealing with different people coming through and creating these integrity lines, there's absolutely a part of me that knows that I've been working through forgiving myself for having compromised before, previously, for having believed lies, falsehoods about either myself or someone else. And so forgiving, it's easy to forgive other people. It's easy to forgive God. Forgiving ourselves is the most difficult. And so, I look at this, and the image very much looks like Yeshua. It absolutely reflects a king, and it shows the 3 different crosses. Very much an image of Yeshua. And I think it's interesting because I get so much from that. I believe that most people would believe that Yeshua was so forgiving, right? He was forgiving of all beings' sins, and so be more like Yeshua. However, that's not necessarily my interpretation here, even though I think that is a beautiful interpretation. I feel like Yeshua himself needs forgiveness, that there's a pain that we all carry. All beings return to the light. All beings. And every being requires a level of healing and forgiveness. And in order for this self-alliance to truly come into fruition, we must forgive ourselves. I've been doing a lot of that. I personally have been doing a lot of that. And in doing so, part of my forgiveness is the giving people permission to not like me. Right? I have always been the person that has done my best to bring peace in any situation, no matter the level of chaos brought to the table. And I find more and more now that, yes, love is the neutrality. The more I love, the more you disarm other people, right? Yet again, love doesn't always seem to show up the way we think it's supposed to, I very much spoke to a human being the other day with a clear and direct statement, allowing them to know that their communication was not received, and that they should remove themselves from my presence. Yeah, that was self-love. That was self-kindness, and that was honoring of my spirit, because this human being showed up in a very inauthentic, lack of integrity kind of way, speaking in manners and tones that were disrespectful, to say the least. And to communicate with the place of self-love, forgiving myself for accepting that kind of communication before. When people speak down to you, there's something in us that makes us believe that they must have the right from some standpoint, right? Or we get all crazy about it. And it's not about either one of those extremes. It's about simply saying no. However that no shows up, must communicate no. Unacceptable. And so as we're moving forward, I'm going to redirect us to the original card here, which is the immeasurable power of the heart way. Goodness. Moving forward, forgiving. And accepting the fact that forgiveness takes a little time. I know to the heart of my being that which I am willing to surrender and forgive, like so much. I already have forgiven and will continue to forgive all beings. All beings. However, in forgiving, there's integrity that must be met. Let's go with that. Integrity must be met. And I offer that to you because hearing myself even say those words, right? Listening to the vibration and how that tone feels in my body, that there must be integrity met. I myself must meet that integrity as well as all others in order to be in my close circle. To verbalize or say that, boundaries or this, it's like a harsh defense. I do not wish to be defensive in my giving of love or sharing of love, no matter how hard I've been burned, no matter how many times people want to try and hurt you, unintentionally, intentionally, it doesn't matter. I choose to keep softening. So, as I say this, I'm going to take a sip. As I say this, I think of how do I soften? And so what medicine can I offer you today? A simple guidance of keeping a soft heart on the path. I know for myself that even in making this video, I have repeatedly allowed myself to, as I'm speaking, reconnect to my heart and breathe into it and communicate from there, rather than allow myself to keep getting into a headspace thinking that, or even thinking. I think that's, probably why my videos go longer than I would like them to. I'd like to make them shorter and, right to the point for everybody. Yet, coming from a non-thinking space and communicating from my heart, there really is no measure of time. So, I invite you to, there's so many different medicines that are coming to my mind, yet one, if you're struggling to get into your heart space and you are having a short breathing pattern, I would say jump up and down and shake. Force your breathing pattern to be fast, in and out without a break between the inhale and exhale, so that there's a pumping action, ideally to a place of exhaustion. However, I don't necessarily want you to do a workout in order to achieve that. I just want you to do some quick movement, shaking, jumping jacks, something to get the heart rate up really, really fast without thinking there's a destination of a workout. That is very different for the emotional body. It's a very different place to be working from. So that's not the medicine I'm looking for from you today. So I just want a shake, a movement to get the breath in a place that then there's a no mind zone, okay? Breathing within a workout, it's a very, it usually isn't a mind zone place to be. That's usually what happens. So if you go to the gym or work out to create that breathing pattern, then what you're doing is you're entering the mind zone. I want you to leave the mind zone. And so in doing so, breathing a breath pattern that doesn't have a rhyme or reason and doesn't really have a destination, okay? So find that breath where it leaves you mindless, right? It leaves you it leaves you in a place where you can drop into your heart. And so here's an interesting trick. Some people may or may not know how to actually speak from the heart. And so what you can do is get get things moving in the physical body, and then start to hum and tone. And when you do, I want you to be dramatic. I want you to make sounds and things that does not seem like you should be making that sound, like crazy like tones and movements. I want you to do all sorts of crazy things so you can hear yourself and you can feel yourself and allow yourself to find a vibration or a sound that drops you into your heart and brings you peace or joy. And then even communicate from there afterwards. Test it. Don't just find the connection. Do things that anchor you there, right? Yeah. So get a breathing pattern moving, clear the brain, and then make sounds and tone. So you start to acknowledge the heart vibration, and allow yourself to move from there. Good. So today's medicine is pretty powerful, you guys. We are moving forward from the heart, in alliance with ourselves, and forgiving. Simply forgiving. More and more I am unattached. I know the intention that is within my heart, yet I am unattached. It's a beautiful place to be. It's a beautiful place to be. I hope you join me. So, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace out, tribe.